Bon, salut tout le monde. Désolé, on a un petit délai, on avait des problèmes techniques, mais on est là. Si on gagne, si on perd, on fait un après-match ici. Ce soir, malheureusement, c'est une défaite de 37-18 contre les Argonauts de Toronto. Ça a pris une quinzaine de blessures, notamment le corps arrière partant. Et ça a pris 2 matchs en 5 jours, mais les Alouettes ont perdu un match cette saison. Séquence de victoires terminée après 13 de suite, si on compte les séries l'an passé. Écoute, première défaite ici depuis le 15 septembre, donc ça faisait longtemps. Mais écoute, on ne peut pas faire d'excuses. Je sais que cette semaine, on a parlé des 2 matchs en 5 jours et c'est pas facile, mais tout le monde doit le faire. Écoute, chaque équipe, à un certain point, va traverser par une période dans le calendrier qui est un peu plus difficile. Donc, c'est ça qui est ça. Donc, je ne veux pas trop en parler, mais euh, selon moi, ça a été un facteur ce soir. Je pense qu'il a manqué de jeu un peu, honnêtement, à la fin. Là, on s'en va en semaine de congé et écoute, on va essayer de se reposer et de voir ce qu'on peut faire. Évidemment, je ne pense pas avoir de mise à jour sur les blessés ce soir. Dans le cas de Fajardo, ischio-jambier, on dirait de ce qu'on a vu ici et de ce qu'on a vu à la TV. Mais c'est compliqué d'analyser. Je ne suis pas de médecin, donc je veux pas. Je veux pas essayer de faire de diagnostic ici ce soir parce que honnêtement, j'en ai aucune idée. Si vous avez des commentaires, vous pouvez les laisser ici. On va les lire sur toutes les plateformes. Euh, mais c'est quand même, c'est pas le fun. J'ai pas de plaisir à faire cet après-match. Mais écoute, c'est ça qui est ça. On ne peut pas toujours gagner. Évidemment, côté physique, je pense qu'on a amené une certaine intensité ce soir, mais que les Argos étaient un peu plus frais et c'est ça qui a fait la différence. Ça a été un peu, des commentaires, je vois déjà des commentaires, coupe de revirement ce soir. Euh, They should have played Caleb. They should have played Alexander earlier. See if it could have changed the game. I get it, but Caleb still led them on 2 touchdown drives. We got our first guest here. We have Walter Fletcher. You're the first one up, yeah. We had some technical difficulties off the hop. Thanks for stopping by, Fletcher. We appreciate it. Just curious, what was the difference tonight?
I think just short week too. It's no excuse, but short week. It's hard to get the body completely 100%. But at the end of the day, we still have chances to win. We're gonna look at the film and just correct ourselves and get better, man.
It's just at a certain point, even I was like, man, how many guys are gonna go down? I know there's a couple that came back. I think I counted 5 that at some point went out of the game. What's that like when you're on the field or on the sideline and you just see like the guys keep going down? It's a tough situation to be in.
Yeah, it's super tough, man. With small rosters also, the depth isn't there, like down south. But at the end of the day, guys got to be ready. But at the same time, it's hard when key guys go down. And yeah, like I said, on a short week too with one practice, we just got to adapt and just learn from this and get better.
I know you never want to lose. You don't want to go into the bye week with a loss either. But does the bye week come at a really nice time?
Really great time. It's a blessing, honestly. The guys can kind of get back at an extra week. Got some guys coming off 6 games as well, so should be a nice chance to at least get away, but also recover and get our bodies right for the rest of the season.
I'm curious what you saw in the big run that set up the Philpott touchdown. I believe it was a draw.
Yeah. Honestly, I really like tight runs, tight zones against Toronto. Honestly, it gives me a chance to really make the Mike linebacker miss. I saw a wide open lane. I knew how to make one guy miss, cut back. A little bit faster. I could have finished the run, but try to make a dude miss and put my team in a position to score.
Thanks, Fletcher. Have a great bye week, and thanks for stopping.
Thank you, Joey. Appreciate it.
Walter Fletcher, nice enough to join us. We can come in with our next guest. C'est Monsieur Alexandre Gagné. Alex, question simple, c'était quoi la différence ce soir?
C'est les 3 unités. On cherchait notre queue là, un peu. Là. La misère à aller chercher des gros jeux, la misère à aller chercher le momentum, la misère à garder là, l'énergie qu'on avait. Là. Donc, C'est difficile à accepter, mais c'est des choses qui arrivent dans le sport, puis ça va juste nous permettre de se relever plus fort. Là.
Sur les unités spéciales, qu'est-ce que tu as remarqué en particulier?
Définitivement, notre force, c'est les couvertures de ballon. Lorsqu'on dégage, puis qu'on réussit à plaquer, puis qu'ils font pas de retour, puis là, on laissait trop de verges sur le terrain. On donnait un mauvais positionnement de terrain à la défensive, puis honnêtement, à un certain point, bien, ça nous rattrape de jouer de cette façon-là. Là.
Je sais que c'est pas une excuse, mais est-ce que tu peux juste me décrire, comment tu as vécu ça, 2 matchs en 5 jours? Je sais que tu l'as fait avant, mais sur le corps, est-ce que tu peux nous expliquer comment c'est difficile de jouer 2 en 5?
C'est difficile. C'est sûr, c'est difficile. Toutes les équipes ont besoin de passer à travers ça, donc c'est aucunement une excuse. Par contre, c'est sûr, c'est difficile sur le corps, c'est difficile sur les stratégies, c'est difficile. On l'a vu là, dans les blessures, juste tout simplement récupérer. Donc, on va avoir une semaine de congé, ça va faire du bien, on va être capable de se remettre sur le piton, ramener les gars qui ont été blessés, puis revenir plus fort.
Je sais qu'on veut jamais perdre, on veut jamais entrer dans une semaine de congé en perdant, mais est-ce que la semaine de congé vient à un bon moment? Là?
La semaine de congé vient à un bon moment, plus pour les blessures, les bobos qui sont apparus au courant des 2 derniers mois, là, avec le camp d'entraînement, avec toutes les parties. Ça fait beaucoup de semaines de suite de football sans pause qu'on a eu. Là. Donc, les gars vont pouvoir retourner dans leur famille, recharger les batteries, prendre soin de leur corps, régler les bobos pour revenir plus fort pour les prochaines parties. Là.
Merci, Alex, t'apprécies.
Merci beaucoup, bonne soirée.
Alexandre Gagné, qui a été assez généreux avec son temps. Donc, on va continuer, on va faire un peu d'analyse, mais on a des questions, des commentaires. Pierre-Luc qui dit « No biggie ». On veut gagner. Je ne veux pas dire no biggie, je ne suis pas sûr que je suis d'accord avec ça, mais quand même, je comprends le sentiment. C'est 5 victoires, 1 défaite. Si, pendant le camp d'entraînement, j'aurais dit, écoute, quand on traverse la première semaine de congé, on va avoir une fiche de 5-1. Je pense que tout le monde aurait pris ça. Alexandre qui dit, les unités spéciales ont été affreux. Je pense que les 3 facettes du jeu, là, ça a été un peu difficile ce soir, mais Alex vient de le souligner, ce qui n'a pas fonctionné. What was the diagnosis of the quad injury? They never publicized it. Oh, they did, Sam. They did publicize it. I mean, it has to be published every week. It's a shoulder injury for the quad day to day. It was a game time decision tonight. He took the warm up and they decided that he wasn't going to play. Manny says they had to lose at some point. Glad it came early in the season. Lots of learning to be had from this game. Hopefully the boys will all be back and healthy to beat the Pretender Riders. That's from Manny. Carl says we get a bye week to rest up and to start a new winning streak. Anthony, Alex, great job in replacing Bourassa. I agree with that, Anthony. I think that's a great point. Not an easy situation to jump in there. And it's funny, when I parked and walked to the stadium today, I walked in with Alexandre Gagné. We just happened to walk in at the same time. And I told him last week, I didn't even realize that he was the one long snapping until the very end of the game. And that's how good he did. For the long snapper, that's probably a good sign. All right, we'll keep going. We'll keep going here. What happened to Julian Grant? Phil, that's a good question. I think he had a... I don't have any details. It's just, I guess something must have flared up or popped up in warm-up. And he wasn't available to play tonight. And it was a last-minute thing. So I think the roster needs to be set 30 minutes before the start of the game, and I think the news came in after, so that's why. And even then, I don't even know if there were any other Canadian that could replace him. I mean, Furvius was already on the roster, so kind of tough when it's 2 games in 5 days and you're short a player on top of that. It's kind of tough. Pourquoi pas faire jouer Alexander si Cody est blessé? J'ai pas de confiance à Evans. Stéphane, je te trouve un peu sévère envers Caleb Evans parce que si tu regardes sa fiche en tant que partant avec les Alouettes, oui, je sais qu'il y a 2 interceptions ce soir. C'est sûr que c'est une mauvaise interception profondément dans son territoire qui mène directement à un touché pour les Argonauts. Je comprends tout ça, mais l'an passé, quand Cody s'est blessé, Caleb a joué 2 matchs et Caleb a remporté les 2 matchs. Donc, tu sais, je suis pas prêt à dire que Evans n'est pas bon. Peut-être qu'on va voir Alexander, on l'a vu en fin de match, mais c'est 2 bons corps arrière. C'est 2 gars qui sont bons, qui sont jeunes et qui ont une chance de devenir des très bons joueurs dans cette ligue. Mais pour le moment, c'est Caleb qui est le numéro 2 et c'est Caleb qui a joué. Mais on ne peut pas faire à semblant que Caleb est mauvais et horrible. Caleb a gagné beaucoup de matchs dans cette ligue, même avant qu'il arrive à Montréal. Nothing better than wearing an Alouettes hat on Hawaii Beach and having a random person yell at me, "Woo, Grey Cup champs!" That's awesome. That's positive. Devin, question for Joey: how did you get into the CFL or the Alouettes? All right, I guess this is the time to do that, Devin. I mean, it's after a loss. Just my dad grew up a Montreal Alouettes fan in the 1970s, and we got back into it. I got into it in 99, 2000. We got on the season ticket holder waiting list. I remember my first memory of Alouettes football was the 2000 Grey Cup. And I just remember I was like 8 or 9 years old, and I cried like a baby when they didn't convert the 2-point convert. Still think Thomas Haskins there was pass interference on that play, but the important thing is I seem to be over it. I'm really not, but that's okay. And I kind of fell in love since then. And just growing up with my dad, my brother, and my cousin, we were always at the stadium. We also watched games that didn't involve the Alouettes. I mean, we watched 4 games a weekend, Friday Night Football. We watched every week. We were here all the time. We would show up a couple hours early to watch warm-up. We would stay a couple hours late to talk to the players. So to me, it's just, it's special to follow this league, and really have a lot of respect for the players who play in this league because they put their bodies on the line, and they do a lot of good to entertain a nation. Bon, Dimitri, triste soirée quand même, la météo préservait rien de bon. Fletcher, je le trouve vraiment pas fou depuis le début de saison. Il faut qu'il reprenne. Écoute, je sais qu'il n'a pas marqué de toucher Fletcher, mais ça je suis pas sûr. Je suis pas d'accord du tout avec ça. T'sais, on a vu à plusieurs reprises que marquer un toucher sur retour, c'est quand même quelque chose qui est fait avec 11 autres joueurs sur le terrain. C'est pas un gars qui peut tout faire seul. Donc, moi, je trouve Fletcher est très, très bon. Moi, je le trouve électrique et je trouve que honnêtement, c'est un des meilleurs retourneurs de la Ligue. Et ce soir, on a vu Janarian Grant de l'autre bord, un autre retourneur excellent, mais Fletcher, non, je suis pas d'accord avec les critiques envers Fletcher. All right, we have Kebion Ento, nice enough to stop by again. Just a simple one for you, just 37-18 tonight. Just what was the difference, Kebion?
We just didn't play to our standard in every phase. We lost.
We're gonna put a tent over us.
Oh, that's cool. But I mean, we didn't play to the standard, and when we don't, things like that happen. We don't blame it on. We know guys went down. We know a lot of things happen, but it doesn't matter. We got to find a way to win. We got to find a way. And at least I'm happy that, guys stayed together in that locker room. That locker room is still upbeat, and we just got to find a way to come back. I know we're on our bye, but, next game and win again.
Okay, but what's it like when you're out there? Even I was rolling my eyes at a certain point because it's like every third, fourth sequence seemed like you lose somebody. I mean, there's 5 guys that came out of the game injured tonight. 2 of them came back, thankfully. But what's that like for you when you see your brothers go down and you're like, shoot, man, this is tough on the body, 2 games in 5 days.
It sucks to see your brothers go down, especially with our small roster. Yeah. The most I do for them is pray real quick and hope that that it's a minor injury. But at the end of the day, you got to control what you can control, and we trust the next man up, regardless whether Cody go out. We trust Caleb. It don't matter who it is. We trust anybody and everybody on this squad. And when we call it the hanger, and when one of the backups get a chance to get out of the hanger, we expect them to play like a starter.
I know Dequoy is the one who kind of was vocal in the secondary there. I'm just curious. He steers traffic, but I'm just curious, how different is it when you have somebody new playing safety back there, and what kind of adjustment is it for you?
It actually didn't feel different, to be honest. I don't know who played safety today. It was either
they rotated a bit. I saw Bryce a little bit. Saw Bev drop back there. Naji.
When you have a group like us, communicate every week in the meetings. We're real critical of each other. We know what we need to do. And like I said, it didn't feel any different with Mark. But I'm not gonna say that we don't miss Mark. Of course we miss Mark. But we're ready. We handle this in practice. Like I said, next man up. No matter whether we have to rotate in spots or anything, we know that things like this happen. And today, the secondary played okay.
Yeah. You never want to lose. You never want to go into a bye week with a loss. But I'm just curious, does a bye week? How good of a time does the bye week come at here?
I think a bye week is just good at any point, whether you're winning or you're losing. Of course, like you said, it sucks at any time to lose, but it always gives guys a chance to get their bodies right, and it also gives everybody a chance. It gives coaches a chance to go back and see, what are we doing good, what are we doing bad. It gives everybody that chance and see what can we actually get better on. Like what aren't we doing? And I think we were going to be critical whether it was a win or a loss, but mostly it gives everybody a chance to kind of get your body right. And I mean, I know a lot of us from the States, we don't get to see our families as much. Luckily, mine is over here, so it gives everybody a chance to just kind of go away from football a little bit and come back ready to play.
I don't know how you look. I know everyone tonight is disappointed, fans disappointed, I'm disappointed, you guys are disappointed, but can you appreciate, if at the start of the season I would have said, hey, going into the week 7 bye, you guys would be 5-1. Can you appreciate that? I don't know. Is that something you can appreciate? Is that something you think about during the bye, or is it just, hey, we should have gone 6-0?
We wanted to go 6-0. We don't ever think about losing any game. I mean, luckily, we're 5-1 is good, but like I said, that's not to our standard. So we got to find a way to come back in the next game and win. Bye week is a bye week. It was gonna come at some point in time. We could care less. We got to just find a way to win.
Thanks for this 48. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Have a great bye week.
Thank you.
All right. Kebion Ento, nice enough to stop by. Juste pour souligner ces commentaires-là, je lui ai demandé, est-ce qu'on peut, en tant que joueur, est-ce qu'on peut apprécier le début de saison? Est-ce qu'on être 5 victoires, 1 défaite, c'est très, très bon. Est-ce qu'on peut apprécier ça? Il a dit non, il faut gagner tous les matchs. Donc, c'est ça. OK, weird question. What is function of the guy on the sideline with the huge blue Montreal sign from? Oh, right. There's actually 2 guys. So the signs are in front. So Noel Thorpe, the defensive coordinator, will have signs. Like he'll make hand gestures, and that's how he'll communicate with the defense of what's going on. So in order to prevent the Argonauts coaches in the booth from seeing what the signals are, you have a guy in front and a guy on the side just to block their angle, so they don't see what the signals in are for the defensive signals. That's what the blue signs are for. We got our next guest here. We have Naji Murray, nice enough to join us. Look, Naji, I know it's not the way you wanted it to go tonight. I'm just curious. It's a simple one. What's the difference?
Difference is we just ain't come to play, I mean, this comes with the game, and it's what it's it's what it's about, We got beat today. We got punched in our mouth. You just got to look in the mirror, and you just got to get better from it.
I'm just curious for you. I know we saw you play a little safety last week. I think you played a little safety tonight as well. You were in the mix there. Just how different is it? How much of an adjustment is it for you? It's not like you got to rep a ton there with one day of practice. I'm just curious what the adjustment is like because you didn't look out of place at all.
It's very, you can't replace Mark. Mark's a dog, he's one of the leaders in the back end. But we had a short week. Coach prepared a great game plan, and then it was me and Bryce Crosby. Yeah. He took majority of the reps back there, and then we just rotated here or there. But Coach just put a good game plan, and we're ready, and we just tried to execute best we could.
Can you appreciate a 5-1 start? I mean, even though you're going into the bye week, week 7, can you appreciate that, or is it just total disappointment that didn't get done tonight?
Oh, no, without a doubt. You're always going to find different positive things, But after a loss, happy, it happens now. You can sit there, take a look in the mirror during a bye, but you still can take the positive to know that we beat ourselves. They didn't beat us.
I'm just curious what it's like for you because I'm there rolling my eyes in the press box. It seemed like every second sequence that somebody was going down. How tough is that when you see guys go down and you're like, man, who's next? And how many guys are going to go down when you're already short to start the game?
Yeah, no, it's very frustrating just to see that, it was left and right, I know we got a lot of depth though, and thank goodness we have a bye week to get a lot of guys back, and that's the biggest, let guys heal up and then we'll get back to work.
What's the goal during the bye outside of healing up? You want to get away a little bit? How big is it to get away?
You always need to get a mental break away from football no matter what because we dive in, put so many hours in throughout the week, but I got my daughter, I haven't seen her for 2 months since she was born, so just happy just to get away to see her.
Congratulations on that. All the best to the family, and thanks for stopping.
Thank you so much, Joe. You have a good one, man.
Thank you, too, buddy. Naji Murray, you too, buddy. Naji Murray of the Montreal Alouettes, nice enough to stop by. On le ressent, là. Tout le monde est déçu du résultat ce soir, mais quand même, il faut souligner le travail que les gars ont fait. 6 matchs, 5 victoires, pas évident ce soir. Mais c'est toujours décevant. Donc, on va continuer avec les questions. Oh boy, il y en a une tonne. All right, the weird question we got. Pierre qui dit vaut mieux avoir des blessures en début de saison qu'à la fin. Joey wanted to say thanks for bringing your stream to the Alouettes. Ask questions to the players and yourself. It's also nice to hear what some players say. Thanks for bringing us. Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate it. Bien essayé, cher Alouette. À la prochaine. Well said, Naji. Pas de panique, on guérit, puis on recommence. C'est exactement ça, l'attitude qu'il faut avoir, Patrick. Tyson says the officiating was laughable. I don't know about the officiating being laughable tonight. Tyson, I think Alexandre Gagné said it best. I think it was just all three facets of the game where it was tough. It was not easy. And just those are things that happen in football. Those are things that things that are going to happen over the course of an 18-game season. There's not really a ton that you can't prepare for everything. There's some weeks you're not going to have the juice in the legs. It's one of those things where it's 18 games is a long time, and unfortunately, it's just you can't win them all. And I wish I didn't have to use these cliches, but what do you want me to tell you? It just kind of is what it is, and I think nobody's making excuses tonight. I think there's not really anybody that said the 2 games in 5 days. Nobody's really used it as a crutch or as an excuse. I think it's one of those things where it's just part of the business. It's part of the game. Refs didn't lose the game, but they were bad without a doubt. They missed at least 5 clear holding. I mean, holding, they miss it both ways. I can't. We won't blame the officials. We won't make excuses tonight. We got our next guest in. You can come in, Moose. Appreciate you stopping by. Just, what was the difference tonight in the game?
We just didn't execute. Hard-fought game. They're ready for us, and, it's just a battle out there.
Yeah. I'm curious, just for you, I know you don't want to use it as an excuse, but the 2 games in 5 days, just how did you deal with that over the course of the week with 1 practice, and just how did it feel in the game?
I mean, as you saw out there's a lot of injuries, so, it's hard to play games back-to-back like that, but at the end of the day, we have a hanger for a reason. We have people that need to step up and be ready to go.
Defensively, if I ask you to evaluate, the 6 weeks globally, I know you guys have done outstanding. I think different guys make different plays throughout each game. How would you evaluate the defensive component or the defensive facet of the game through 6 weeks?
I think we started off hot. These last 2 games, our defense didn't execute as well as we should have. Last week, we brought it back in the second half, and this week, we kind of got hit in the mouth, and we just needed get back right. That's all.
I know you never want to lose. You don't want to go into the bye with a loss. I get that, but in your mind, you think the bye week comes at a half decent time here?
Comes at a perfect time. Obviously, like I said, a bunch of injuries tonight. 4 or 5 guys going down. Hopefully, we get those guys back when it's time to go. And it's early in the year, so this loss doesn't mean anything to us. We're ready to come back next week or in 2 weeks.
I'm curious what the messaging was from coach or from the guys after the game. Just what's the message in the locker room?
I mean, obviously, we never want to take a loss. We never want to let anybody come in here and do that, in front of our home crowd, to us, anything like that. But it's take advantage of this bye week and come back ready to go.
Thanks, Moose. Enjoy it, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you.
All right, Mustafa Johnson of the Montreal Alouettes had a big sack tonight as well. But I think he's no excuses. Brings up a lot of valid points. Look, it's just kind of is. That's what it is. There's no excuses in the evaluation of Mustafa Johnson. I think you look at the way the defense is played. I think defense has been pretty lights out. But yeah, I mean, it's just. You want to jump in, Titus? You want to come in? Sorry. You can come in this way. Sorry. Titus Wall, nice enough to stop by. I don't want to make any excuses. I'm not going to make them. But just take me through your body and what it feels like to play 2 of these in 5 days.
It's just pro ball, man. So just got to do what you got to do to get ready. That's all it is to it. No excuses, like you said. Just got to come out here and execute.
I'm curious, what did they throw at you guys offensively tonight? Because their numbers, honestly, weren't outstanding offensively, but they were able to move the ball at the right time.
Yeah, they weren't we just weren't playing our brand of ball. That's all it was to it. We weren't assignment sound at times. We weren't executing how we normally execute. And so, at the end of the day, it bit us in the butt.
I'm just curious, what's it like when you look around and it seems like there's a different guy dropping every second sequence. I mean, it's punishing on the body, but when you see 5 guys come out, I know a couple guys came back, but when you see 5 guys go out at different points, like what's going through your mind at that moment?
Just control the controllables, next man up, you got to stay ready.
I know that you've been here for a short time. I'm just curious, going into the bye week, what's your global evaluation of the experience you've had in Montreal so far and of the defense maybe through your time here?
Oh, yeah, we get better every day. Even through this loss, we get better. And so it's just going back to the drawing board, using this time to make sure we get our bodies right. For real, that's the main thing. And back to it, after the bye.
Appreciate this. Enjoy the bye week.
Appreciate you.
All right, Titus Wall, nice enough to stop by. We've got... We've got a couple different guys that have come out, and the depth has been tested for sure, like Titus said. But there's no excuses. Titus Wall is a beast. Can't blame the defense, offense. Too many 2-and-outs. I mean, look, there's a lot of guys that went out. Just keep in mind that the starting quarterback went out, and you had 1 practice this week. They practiced on Tuesday, and that was it. So not a ton of time for your quarterback to get some reps. Your backup quarterbacks to get some reps, and already they don't get a ton. But it is kind of is what it is in that sense. I know there's a lot of people going after Caleb Evans in the comments. I just I have a hard time agreeing with you. If you want to change things up, that's okay. But you can't tell me that Caleb Evans can't play. I mean, he led the Alouettes, helped lead the Alouettes on 2 drives, 2 touchdown drives, and I thought overall, is there improvement that needs to be made tonight? Absolutely, but it's kind of tough to just pin it on one quarterback. Bryce stepped up big time tonight. Seemed like he was in the mix on almost every play. Yeah, Bryce Cosby had to play some safety with Naji Murray tonight. We mentioned that just because of the injury to Dequoy. So I thought he did well. Honestly, I didn't think he did bad at all. He was good. Any news on Richards? Richards was injured on the 6-game injured list. Was injured in week 1, so he's been jogging at practice. He's been doing his thing. So that would mean the next game after the bye week is the 6th game that he's going to miss. So he would be eligible to return to the Hamilton game on August the 2nd with Tyrell Richards. You want to jump in?
Oh, yeah,
All right. Former CFLer Mark Calix this year to stop by. All right, Mark, let's go. Give it to me.
Well, you know what? There was a question that just popped in and said Caleb Evans cannot play.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. Toronto played an outstanding game. Ryan Dinwiddie had a simple game plan, time of possession. And I'm going to tell you this, a quarterback cannot just jump in there and score touchdowns. You got to set it up. You got plays to set up. You got down and distance, and you have appropriate game play that you can use, certain down and distance. Caleb Evans did what he could with what he had, and I'm going to tell you this, he's still growing. And I'm telling you, he has a bright future ahead.
25 years old, and he won 2 games last year when Cody came out. So that's kind of what I've been preaching. I've been going in English for a while, so if we can switch in French, just one more for you. Donc, c'est semaine de congé, semaine 7, Marc. Ton évaluation des Alouettes après 6 semaines, c'est 5 victoires, 1 défaite. Comment tu vois ça globalement?
Le timing pourrait pas être mieux. OK, ça a été, ça va être un repos mérité et nécessaire. C'est tout simplement ça. Écoute, avec les effectifs, il ne faut pas oublier, ils ont un certain nombre limité de joueurs. Ils n'ont pas 60 joueurs, puis tout d'un coup, on peut aller chercher n'importe qui est frais dispo. Non, tu as des joueurs qui ont du wear and tear, qui ont joué pratiquement 60-70% de la saison déjà. Là. Ce qui fait en sorte que c'est sûr que tu vas avoir des blessés après, en plus, une semaine courte. Je ne vais pas en rajouter plus. Une semaine courte. Puis ils jouent une équipe qui est une très bonne équipe, très physique, et leur mensuration est exemplaire dans la Ligue.
Quand est-ce qu'on peut lire les chroniques dans le Journal de Montréal, mon ami?
Écoute, la plupart du temps, ils sortent le mercredi. Des fois, ils peuvent sortir le vendredi, tout dépendant. Mais les mercredis, vous pouvez aller directement sur le site web du Journal de Montréal. On peut aller sur le Twitter feed de Journal de Montréal. Puis vous pouvez me lire. Puis vous voulez lire aussi M. Rioux, Ben Rioux, avec qui je travaille, qui est excellent. Puis on s'amuse.
Merci, Marc. Merci pour l'analyse, c'est apprécié.
Ça fait plaisir, Joey.
Marc Calixte, assez gentil pour se joindre à nous. Je pense qu'on va avoir une autre minute ou deux parce que ça fait 30 minutes. Bon, ouais, c'est ça. Donc, merci à Marc d'avoir fait son analyse. Marc et moi, on est proches lors des matchs. On est tous les deux, il s'assoit juste en avant de moi dans la galerie de presse. Donc, j'apprécie toujours les analyses, les commentaires de Marc qui a joué dans la Ligue canadienne de football longtemps pour les Stampeders de Calgary. Donc, je pense que c'est tout pour ce soir. Il commence à pleuvoir quand même assez. Donc, on va... On continue? Comme tu veux. It's all good. On va attendre une couple de minutes. On va prendre quelques commentaires de plus. C'est juste que le téléphone est... On va essayer de vous arranger ça. C'est ça qui arrive quand on fait un live. On est là. Le téléphone bouge un peu. On va essayer de voir si on peut avoir une couple d'autres joueurs, juste avoir des commentaires. Des gars. On va regarder une couple de statistiques aussi. On n'a pas fait le tour des stats ce soir. Donc, pour Evans, c'est 12 en 22, 127 verges, 2 touchés, 2 interceptions. Fajardo, 5 en 6. Parfait. 5 en 6 pour 62 verges. Fletcher, 5 courses, 60 verges, quand même excellent. Une course de 50 verges. Speakers, 6 réceptions, 70 verges. Rambo, 4 réceptions, 53 verges. Philpott, 4 réceptions, 38 verges. Tous les deux, ces deux derniers, ont marqué des touchés. Are you stopping or no? Are we doing this or not? All right, let's do it. Josh Renantwe is here. You're interviewing me?
Joey,
no, we can't have fun today. I want to ask you real questions. Just a simple one to start. I mean, what was the difference tonight in your mind?
We just got dominated, plain and simple. That wasn't to our standard, and we just got to play better. But it's better it happens now than in later on, as we know from experience. If you go 18-0, 16-2, 15-3, it doesn't matter if you don't get to the end. So this is just one of those ones where we gotta, go on a bye, come back, watch the tape, and we'll learn from it, fix what we need to fix.
Can you appreciate the first third of the season, like that you guys went 5-1? Is that something you can do right now, or is it just, hey, we should be 6-0?
Nah, it's hard to win in this league, and so yes, I definitely commend, our coaching staff, the players. Since last year, we came in, we kept dominating, and we won 5 games straight, and that's that. Now, we lost one, so we'll learn from it and we'll move on.
I'm curious, the bye week. I know you never want to go into any week with a loss, but going into the bye with a loss sucks. But the bye week comes at a half decent time.
It comes at a much needed time because obviously, we're hurting. Guys were dropping this game, guys dropped last game. And so, like Coach Mon said, we're going to take this week. We're going to get guys healthy. Cody, get him healthy, get whoever healthy. We'll just, we'll come back, and it'll be hard to watch a film, but we're going to look ourselves in the mirror and make the corrections, and we'll get ready for Sask.
Thanks for this, Josh. Enjoy the bye week.
Take care.
All right, Josh Renantwe, nice enough to stop by. We've got our next guest who scored his first CFL touchdown tonight. You just make sure you don't trip over these wires. We'll move you right here. Charleston Rambo. Charleston, before we get to the touchdown, I'm just curious what you felt was the difference tonight.
Not much of a difference, hard plays being made, on both sides of the ball. It's a football game. It happens like that. So we played all 4 quarters. We got the result we got, but, not much change, but we play hard.
Welcome to the CFL, 2 games in 5 days for you. I'm just curious how you lived through that and what was that experience like for you?
We're football players, For me, it's not another day in the office, Probably go get a lift in after this and, just play strong and keep going.
Goodness, I don't even know if I can move if I played one. I don't know how you're going to get a lift in. Just walk me through the touchdown and what you saw and, Caleb coming in and throwing that ball to you.
Yeah, we got man coverage, 1 or cover 0, but post route, DB gave me his eyes, and, I just made a great route for my quarterback. He made a great ball for me to go get.
I know you don't want to go into the bye week with a loss, or you don't want to go into any week with a loss, but when you see the amount of guys that went down tonight and last week, Charleston, kind of hard to ignore that the bye comes at a half-decent time, I would think.
Yeah, we gonna go into this bye and recover. You know, my bad if I spit, but yeah, we all play hard, and I know some guys are banged up, so I'm sure they're gonna get in and get their rehab they need and get treatment they need and be back ready after the bye week.
Just in your experience, just you've been in the league, you've been in college. I mean, I'm just curious, the bye week, how important is it to get away from football when you've had a schedule like you guys have had since the middle of May?
Yeah, I mean, it's there. You know, we've been in football for a while, and you know, we're gonna go in treatment real hard, and all we can say is recover hard and come back out here and be better players, be great, and just play strong, get through this.
You finished a third of your first CFL season. I'm just curious what you make of your overall evaluation of yourself and how you feel you've done through 6 weeks.
Yeah, just feel like I can be better for my team, be greater for my quarterbacks, and just keep getting open and making plays for them. So, yeah.
Sorry, what stood out to you through 6 weeks? Just something maybe you didn't expect, or just anything?
I can say, like, you know, quick 2-and-outs, and just, you know, being ready to go out there. You know, not even – I remember one time I tried to pray and go out one time in a pregame, I mean preseason, but, yeah, it's kind of quick 2-and-out. It's quick then 3-and-out.
Appreciate this. Enjoy the bye week, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Merci beaucoup.
There you go. That's pretty good. Charleston Rambo, nice enough to stop by. Big touchdown for number 14 tonight, who's looked pretty good, who's looked pretty comfortable, and he was our Budweiser player of the game tonight, Charleston Rambo was. So first time this season that Charleston Rambo, or first time ever that Charleston Rambo wins player of the game. All right, we've done 36 minutes. I think we're going to wrap it up here. We're going to go into the bye week and enjoy some nice time off. Thank you. Through a third of the way in the season, you guys have been amazing. I mean, honestly, the amount of people who have logged on to this thing, the amount of people who have left comments, who have left questions. Vous êtes incroyable. Le nombre de personnes qui embarquent sur les lives. Merci beaucoup tout le monde pour le support. Merci. Ici, c'est pas juste moi. On a notre producteur Martin, on a Pierrick qui nous aide à aller chercher les joueurs. Donc, c'est vraiment une grosse production ici. Dans les coulisses, ce que vous ne voyez pas, c'est pas juste moi, c'est toute une équipe. Écoute, on a déjà hâte au 25 juillet. Si vous n'avez pas vos billets, achetez vos billets pour ce match-là. C'est Rough Riders qui s'en viennent ici à Montréal pour affronter les Alouettes. C'est un beach day de ce qu'on me dit. Beach party. Est-ce qu'il va y avoir du sable finalement? Il va y avoir du sable et des activités de ce que je comprends. Donc, merci beaucoup tout le monde. Oui, vous ne pouvez pas vous habiller juste en maillot. Ça serait apprécié d'amener un T-shirt et tout aussi. Ouais, ça serait bon. Donc, merci tout le monde. Merci les 6 premiers matchs. On a eu beaucoup, beaucoup de plaisir. Soyez sûrs qu'on va avoir plein de contenu dans les prochains jours et tout au long de la semaine de congé. Donc, il y a plein de contenu Alouettes. Oui, il y a un camp de flag football avec tous nos joueurs et nos entraîneurs. Vous pouvez vous inscrire sur notre site, $59. $59. Il reste quelques places. Donc, si jamais vous voulez que votre enfant participe à un camp avec des joueurs professionnels, soyez sûr que vous pouvez vous inscrire ou inscrire votre enfant à notre camp de flag football. Tous les détails sont sur notre site goalsgo.com. Nancy, the final word goes to you. Enjoy the bye. Gave David Brown a hug for me. I'm not giving David Brown a hug, but I think it's his birthday today, so I'll maybe give him a high five. I don't hug David Brown, but I know that Nancy is David's mom, and we will give David some love, just not too much love. We like to keep him honest. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. We'll be back after the Saskatchewan game, after the Saskatchewan game. But we've got a lot of content coming. So goalsgo.com for your tickets. Thank you for logging on. Thank you for your comments and your questions. And we'll be back in a couple weeks. Have a great bye week, everybody.